Time for tonight's rewrite. Beyond all the talk of witches, Aqua Buddha, and Nazi war games, the real issue Tea Party candidates are campaigning on is fiscal responsibility, so it should surprise no one that fiscal responsibility came up when California's Republican Senate candidate Carly Fiorina, who has courted Tea Party voters during this campaign, appeared on Fox News Sunday. But things got a little awkward.
Okay, you're campaigning, and you just kind of alluded to it, to your record as a tough, bottom-line former business executive, but you want to extend all the Bush tax cuts, which would add $4 trillion to the deficit. You say balance the budget by cutting spending. Question, as a bottom-line businesswoman, where are you going to find $4 trillion to cut?
Well, let's just start with the fact that, as you pointed out in your last interview, spending has skyrocketed out of control in the last 2 years.
Ms. Fiorina, I mean, the traditional ways that people talk about non-discretionary, discretionary non-defense spending is only 16% of the budget. It wouldn't be anywhere close to $4 trillion. Where are you going to get that kind of money if you extend all of the Bush-era tax cuts?
The budget of the EPA has increased by 37% in the last year.
Ms. Fiorina,
that's crazy. We can cut spending.
Let me ask you a specific question, because I still haven't gotten many specifics from you on how you're going to cut $4 trillion and even more out of the budget.
Chris, I have to say, with all due respect, you're asking a typical political question.
Maybe a typical political question, Ms. Fiorina, but that's where the money is. The money is in Medicare. The money is in Social Security. I'm going to try one last time, and if you don't want to answer it, Ms. Fiorina, you don't have to.
It's not a question. It's not a question of not wanting to answer it.
It's not a question of not wanting to answer it. There's actually some truth there. It's not simply a question of not wanting to answer it. There's also the little problem of not being able to answer it. The day Carly Fiorina was ousted as Hewlett-Packard's CEO in February of 2005, the company's stock jumped nearly 7 points. Such was Wall Street's understanding of Ms. Fiorina's grasp of the details of her business. The smart money seemed to think anyone would be better at running the company. Now, I don't want to say that just because Ms. Fiorina's had business troubles in the past, she can't learn from her mistakes. But you cannot advocate keeping taxes low for everyone, including the super rich, while refusing to say what you would cut in the federal budget. Social Security, Medicare, something, anything. And still promise, as she does, to restore fiscal responsibility. But Carly Fiorina answered the question exactly the way her handlers wanted her to. You don't get elected by telling people what you would cut from the federal budget. Ms. Fiorina has been told that it is better to suffer a TV show cross-examination than actually answer that question, especially in a state like California, where there are Tea Partiers who are opposed to government spending, but also live on government agriculture subsidies, Social Security disability payments, Medicare, and veterans benefits. The very same Tea Partiers spend their days complaining about how bad the roads are in California. Carly Fiorina knows that political schizophrenics like that can never be satisfied, only pandered to. If Ms. Fiorina wants to be the one Tea Party Republican to answer Chris Wallace's question honestly, what she would have said is, I don't really care what they cut in the federal budget as long as I'm not the one who has to make the decision or vote for it, because all I really want here is a title, senator, not the job of governing, because to govern is to choose, and the choices are never easy.